Year 1532, off the coast of Kyushu, Japan. You are Umibozu, rising from the deepest cracks of the ocean floor. Your body is vast and shapeless, black as ink, with glowing white eyes that pierce the darkness. Your head swells like a bald monk, but twisted, monstrous, an echo of something human that never should have been. The water around you shivers as if rejecting your very presence. You are not born into family or kin. No mother waits, no pack protects you, only the crushing weight of water pressing against your skin like iron bands. The cold bites into your flesh, but you cannot die. Your body stretches and thickens, every moment you grow, yet there is no comfort in this growth. You are immense and terrifying, even to yourself. Fish scatter before you. Whales sense your approach and vanish into safer waters. Sharks, killers of the sea, turn away from your path. You are not predator, not prey. You are something else, something the ocean itself refuses. Days mean nothing in the abyss. Time drips slowly, each second heavier than the last. The pressure of the deep squeezes your skull, the darkness gnaws at your mind, and yet you endure. You are not given choice, not given purpose, only form. Your presence creates distance, your existence creates fear. No creature lingers in your shadow. Even the drifting plankton scatter as if pushed by an invisible hand. You are born of the ocean but rejected by it, condemned to wander trenches that stretch further than mountains rise. You drift endlessly, listening to the faint tremors of the earth beneath the seabed, a heartbeat that reminds you that you are alive, though you wish you were not. Your body is colossal but without anchor. You reach out into nothingness, and nothing answers. You do not belong above nor below, not to sky, not to sea. You are the mistake the ocean refuses to embrace. And this is your curse from the very first moment. Eternal solitude, an existence too large to be ignored and too alien to be accepted. You are Umibozu, and the ocean has already turned its back on you. Hunger gnaws at your insides until the pain is unbearable. The trenches cannot feed you, the darkness cannot sustain you, and the emptiness in your stomach feels like it will tear your body apart. You rise toward the surface, breaking through layers of water that grow warmer and brighter, until at last you see something strange cutting across the waves. Wooden walls, sails stretched like wings, the creak of ropes and the pounding of oars. The smell hits you first, dry wood, tar, oil, and the faint scent of sweat drifting down into the sea. You lift your head above the water, and in that instant the calm shatters. Men drop what they hold, their eyes wide, their voices splitting into screams. Some fall to their knees as if prayer will protect them. Others scramble to row away, though the sea will not allow escape. Their fear strikes you harder than any weapon could. You never meant to terrify, but terror blooms the moment your pale eyes shine in the night. It spreads across the deck like fire in dry grass, unstoppable, absolute. You do not roar, you do not strike, yet your presence alone feels like death arriving. And you understand with crushing clarity that your very existence is the curse. If you stay hidden, you starve in silence, consumed by the endless dark. If you rise, the world above is consumed by panic and despair. There is no balance, no place where you can exist without spreading ruin. The sailors shout your name, spitting it like venom. Umibozu. They say the word as though it seals their fate, as though the sound of it alone can summon the end of their voyage. They curse you while they tremble, curse you while they pray, curse you while they sink. You did not choose to be their nightmare, but now you see the truth written in their eyes. You are not a creature, you are a sentence passed upon them by the sea itself. The wood of their ship cracks as waves swell around you, and even the act of surfacing sends the vessel into chaos. They will return to land with stories if they live, and if they do not, their silence will only sharpen the fear in the hearts of others. You cannot flee from this role. You cannot explain. You are not hunter nor protector, only a shadow rising from the water that men will forever call a demon. And whether you will it or not, from this moment on, every ship that crosses your path will see you as the end. You never stop growing. Your body stretches wider and taller with every passing year until masts that once seemed tall now look like fragile sticks swaying above the waves. A ship that once filled your vision now feels like a toy drifting on the water. To human eyes, your size is terror, but to you, it is weight, and weight is suffering. Every stroke of your arms against the current demands strength that feels like it will rip your muscles apart. The ocean, once limitless, now presses against you like a cage. When you sink back into the trenches, the pressure of the depths crushes against your skin until it feels like fire burning across your back. Your body does not break, but it screams in constant pain, a reminder that your mass is both your shield and your torment. You want to rest, but even rest betrays you. When you curl into the stillness of the sea, your bulk displaces the water and forces waves to rise above. The surface ripples, the horizon bends, and storms gather where you did not intend them. Sailors read the sea like scripture, and they know when you are near. They turn their ships away, change their courses, abandon their journeys, rather than risk crossing your shadow. You cannot hide, not even in silence. Each time you rise, the world reacts in panic. You hear shouts, see bodies scatter, feel the tremors of their fear. It is not your roar or your strike that defines you, but the very fact that you exist. Your enormity is a warning written across the sea, and as you grow, your hunger grows with you. The deep cannot feed you anymore. Small creatures are nothing to you now, their bodies vanishing before you even taste them. You become dependent on the storms. Only when thunder breaks the sky and lightning claws the waves do you find the strength to feed. In chaos, you can rise without hesitation, swallowing fear as the sailors scream and ships tilt under the violence of the sea. The storm becomes your ally, yet also your chain. Without it, you weaken, drift, and ache. You wait for the sky to turn black, for the winds to scream, because only then can you rise without tearing yourself apart. The ocean that once could have been your home no longer welcomes you. It is not a cradle, not a sanctuary. It is a stage, vast and endless, but still a prison where you must play the same role over and over. And no matter how high the waves carry you, or how wide the storms spread your shadow, you cannot escape the truth that your size has cursed you. You are never invisible, never harmless, never free. Umibozu is too great to be ignored, too monstrous to be left in peace. Hunger never leaves you. It twists and claws at your insides until it feels like your vast body might split apart. You are not like the whales that sift plankton through their teeth, not like the sharks that chase prey through the blue currents. Your hunger is not of flesh or bone, it is deeper, darker, a hollow carved into your being that nothing ordinary can fill. When a ship crosses into your waters, the pain sharpens. Your body seizes as if your very core is being crushed. It is not wood you crave, not salted meat or dried fish. You crave the shiver in their spines, the gasps that choke their throats, the prayers whispered through trembling lips. Fear is your sustenance, terror your only nourishment. Without it, you weaken, you fade, your presence slipping thin like mist, as though you might dissolve back into the sea that rejects you. Yet every moment you feed, you become more despised. When sailors glimpse your glowing eyes above the waves, they see the death of their voyage. They believe you rise only to drag them down, to splinter their vessels, to drown their families. They do not know you starve without them. They cannot see that their cries are what keep you alive. You never asked for their fear, but it clings to you like chains. And so your existence is a paradox. To survive, you must rise and terrify. And in doing so, you bind yourself to hatred that only grows with each tale carried back to shore. Children learn your name before they ever set foot on a ship. Their fathers curse you before they hoist the sails. Monks pray against you before storms even gather. The ocean could have been vast enough to hide in, but the ache inside you will not allow silence. You cannot ignore it. You are driven to appear, to loom over decks, to send shadows across the sails, to hear the breathless despair of men who realize the sea has chosen them to feed you. And every time you do, another story spreads across the islands, painting you not as a creature forced into this hunger, but as a demon who delights in destruction. You are not remembered as a being that suffers, but as the monster that claims the lives of sailors and leaves nothing but wreckage floating on the tide. And so your hunger is both survival and sentence. You endure, but each day you grow more hated, more feared, more alone. The world will never see that you are cursed by emptiness. They will only see the terror you bring when the pain inside drives you to rise again. Centuries pass and the sea changes around you, but your curse remains untouched. Ships multiply, sails turn to masts of iron and canvas, and eventually to steam and metal. But no matter how the vessels evolve, the reaction is always the same. Fear. Sailors cling to stories of you like armor, whispering your name before storms, warning each other that to glimpse your form is to invite death. No matter how strong their ships grow, the sight of your massive silhouette rising from the waves is enough to turn hardened men into children. Yet something worse begins to take shape. Monks and priests step forward, their chants spilling across the waters, their offerings cast into the depths to calm you. Bowls of rice, jars of sake, charms bound in silk sink past your gaze, meant to bribe you, to force you into silence. Some among them go further, claiming they can banish you. They build rituals meant to trap your essence, carve symbols into wood, and strike the surface of the sea with staffs as though commanding it to obey. Others tell of holy men who dared to look into your eyes and confront you as if faith alone could shield them. None of it changes what you are. The hunger does not vanish, the loneliness does not ease, and the hatred in their voices only deepens. Every prayer cast against you is another reminder that humanity sees you not as part of the ocean, but as its enemy. Your existence becomes a target for every ritual, every superstition, every desperate plea for safety at sea. You cannot die, you cannot retreat, and so you endure each century as though shackled to an endless punishment. The waters that should be your home have become your prison. Every rise to the surface is not a choice but a battle. Every storm that stirs the waves brings the cycle again. Hunger drives you upward, men cry out, ships scatter, destruction follows. And when the sea falls silent again, when wreckage drifts on the foam, you return to the depths knowing that nothing has changed. The same torment waits for you tomorrow, the same curses, the same terror. The centuries stretch like an endless rope, binding you tighter to this role. You are not allowed peace, not allowed rest, not allowed to vanish. You are forced to live as the eternal enemy of mankind, repeating the same ritual of fear and ruin across generations. The ocean should have been freedom, but for you it is a stage where the play never ends. A cycle of hunger, emergence, terror, and destruction that no passage of time will ever break. The cold is constant, the pain unending, the hunger unbearable, but none of these are the true weight of your existence. The true weight is time. Centuries drag on without pause, and you remain, fixed like a shadow that refuses to fade. You watch humanity shift and change, their ships transforming from fragile wooden frames to colossal machines of steel and iron. You see fire harnessed to push them forward, sails replaced by smoke and engines, and still your presence has the same effect. They scream, they pray, they curse your name as though you are the same demon their ancestors once feared. You endure generation after generation, a prisoner of the ocean, your image passed down as a warning never meant to inspire understanding, but only to reinforce dread. They teach their children to fear you long before those children ever touch the deck of a ship. They paint your form in whispers and in stories, not as a creature trapped in its own curse, but as a monster that waits gleefully for the storm to rise. And each time you appear, each time you cannot resist the pull of hunger or the torment of solitude, their legends harden. You become not a living being, but a myth used to frighten sailors into obedience. Yet you are still here, still suffering, still aching under the weight of years that never end. You learn quickly that there is no mercy in eternity. Death does not come to release you. The sea does not claim you fully. You are forced to exist at the edge between legend and reality, never embraced by either. Storm after storm, you rise, you terrify, and you retreat. Wreckage drifts behind you, and silence greets you below, the silence of a world that will never accept you. The loneliness is greater than the hunger. The emptiness is greater than the pain. You do not belong to the world of men, nor to the world of sea creatures. You are alone in both, cursed to linger in the darkness. And so you realize the cruelest truth of all. There will be no ending, no final confrontation, no moment where the sea releases you or humanity forgets you. There will only be repetition. The waves will rise, sailors will scream, and your form will vanish back into the abyss. The cycle is eternal, and you are chained to it without hope of escape. As Umibozu, there is no conclusion to your story, only the endless echo of fear and solitude, carried forever across the dark waters.